Female members of Congress, both past and present, are now coming forward with allegations of sexual harassment on Capitol Hill. 4 lawmakers, 1 current and 3 former, tell the Associated Press they were sexually harassed or subjected to hostile comments by their male colleagues while serving in the House of Representatives. Linda Sanchez of California, former lawmakers Barbara Boxer, Mary Bono, and Hilda Solis are now speaking out amid the intensifying national focus on sexual harassment and misconduct. So for more on this story, I'm joined now by Juliet Linderman, the Associated Press reporter who broke the news along with her colleague Erica Werner. All right. It seems, another day, another story like this, Juliet, but this is indeed particularly troubling. Let's start with a wide range of allegations from unwanted comments, come-ons, all the way to groping on the House floor. That is stunning. Yes. How did this stay hidden from the public?
Well, for us, the way that we approached this story was, we are seeing reports from, across the board coming out of sexual harassment in workplaces in all different industries, including in politics. We're seeing reports of, harassment among aides. Congresswoman Jackie Speier recently came forward with her own story about being sexually assaulted when she was a staffer by another staffer. And so we decided that we wanted to focus our reporting on the lawmakers themselves and reach out to current and former members of Congress to see what they had to say about working in such a heavily male-dominated environment. And, some of the members that we spoke to were reluctant to talk about it. They didn't necessarily tell anyone when it happened. They tried to ignore it. Supervisor Solis told me that she, just tried to walk away. So I think this kind of conduct might not be something that is discussed.
I think what's the most disturbing thing about this is that these are the lawmakers that we expect to pass laws that will protect women and other people who may be vulnerable in the workplace. And it appears as if, they're certainly not immune from this sort of behavior. You talked about Representative Jackie Speier. She joined the hashtag #MeToo movement, and she also released a video. So let's listen to what she had to say, and then we'll talk about it on the other side.
I was working staffer. The chief of staff held my face, kissed me, and stuck his tongue in my mouth. So I know what it's like to keep these things hidden deep down inside. I know what it's like to lie awake in bed at night wondering if I was the one who had done something wrong. I know what it's like years later to remember that rush of humiliation and anger. You know what? Many of us in Congress know what it's like, because Congress has been a breeding ground for a hostile work environment for far too long.
A breeding ground for a hostile work environment. These are strong women. It's not easy to run for office. It's not easy to do that job. And these are women who probably go to bat and fight for another woman who said she was working in a hostile work environment. But this, They didn't talk about this stuff.
Right. Right. I mean, I think these topics are difficult to talk about. And as you noted, these are strong women. These are elected officials. And interestingly enough, some members of Congress that we reached out to expressed shock that their colleagues had these experiences because they didn't even know that sexual harassment could happen among peers. Some people think that it is a power dynamic and that one congressperson couldn't possibly sexually harass another congressperson because they hold the same office. But power dynamics are complicated and they exist in all different forms, including gender and the number of years or the time you've held office. So no one is immune.
Yeah. Say that their accounts really underscore that no woman is immune from this sort of behavior, even at the highest reaches of government. Do you expect these allegations will change any behavior, though? The real question is now, just moving forward, now that it's been revealed, what next?
Well, on our end, we're going to continue to dig into this story and, hope to talk to as many people as we can. And I think that as these topics become more normalized, you would think that some behaviors may change, but it just remains to be seen.
Well, Representative Linda Sanchez said that she wouldn't name her perpetrator, though. Why is that? I mean, isn't the idea to name and shame so this behavior stops?
Well, sometimes people don't necessarily feel comfortable, especially someone who is currently in office. But as I said, as more and more reports of this kind of behavior come out, typically that does embolden people to kind of come forward with even more information. So hopefully that will happen in this.
Just out of curiosity, if I feel that I'm being harassed in the workplace, I go to HR and I lodge a complaint. For female representatives, what's the protocol? Is there a place